If you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, you are not broken. You're just tired. And today, I'm going to show you how to reclaim your strength, one breath, one step, and one courageous choice at a time. But before we dive into this powerful journey of rebuilding from within, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video if it speaks to you, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a message that could change your life. Let's get into it. Section: You are not lazy, you are drained. Most people look at their untouched to-do lists, their neglected goals, and the endless hours lost scrolling through screens and instantly conclude, I must be lazy. But laziness is a decision to avoid effort when you have energy to spare. Exhaustion, on the other hand, is the inability to move forward because your inner resources have been depleted. It's not that you lack discipline or desire, it's that you're operating on fumes, trying to willpower your way through burnout. When you confuse fatigue with laziness, you only add guilt to exhaustion, making it even harder to recover and act. The modern world isn't designed for your mind to thrive. It's designed to capture and monetize your attention. Before you even brush your teeth in the morning, you are bombarded by notifications, messages, news headlines, and digital noise. Every ping is a tiny ambush on your nervous system. Your brain is forced into high alert before you've even started your day, burning through energy meant for focus, creativity, and decision-making. Add to that the silent burdens you carry, the guilt of not being productive enough, the constant comparison to curated lives online, the internalized belief that you must always be available, and it's no wonder you feel paralyzed. You're not lazy. You're fighting a battle inside your own mind every single day. This kind of mental fatigue is exactly what the ancient concept of kyojitsu from Japanese philosophy warns us about, the blurring line between truth and illusion. The illusion says you are broken, lazy, and falling behind. The truth is that you are attempting to function at full capacity on a battery that hasn't seen a full recharge in months. Imagine trying to fight the battles of your life with broken armor and no sword. You are not lacking ambition. You are lacking restoration. As Guts from Berserk once said, a man grows most tired while standing still. It's not the movement that drains you. It's the heavy weight of the invisible wars you wage inside yourself. When you find yourself stuck, unable to act, remember this. Your system isn't defective. It's overloaded. Even the strongest warriors in anime, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, needed time in the healing chamber before returning to battle stronger than ever. Recovery is not a sign of weakness. It is the fuel for greatness. In a world that tries to convince you that you must constantly grind without pause, your greatest form of rebellion is to recognize when you need to step back and restore your mind, body, and soul. Self-care is not an indulgence. It is survival. Protect your energy like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Section 2. The modern economy thrives on your exhaustion. It is built to drain you, then sell you the illusion of repair. For every problem it creates, it offers a convenient product. Energy drinks to jolt your fatigued body, meditation apps to soothe your anxious mind, productivity software to help you squeeze out a few more drops of focus. But these are not solutions. They are temporary patches on deep wounds. They keep you operating just enough to continue consuming, never truly addressing the root of the collapse within. Kyojitsu, the ancient Japanese principle of discerning illusion from reality, calls us to see through these false narratives. You are not broken for needing rest. You are not lazy for struggling to keep up. You are human, living in a machine-driven world that values output over well-being. To understand this at a deeper level, look at Viktor Frankl, a man who survived some of the darkest chapters in human history. Stripped of everything, his home, his family, even his name. Inside Nazi concentration camps, he faced horrors most of us can't imagine. And yet, Frankl taught a lesson so powerful, it echoes through time. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. He didn't preach working harder, forcing more effort from an already drained soul. He spoke of turning inward, of transforming from within. True strength, he showed us, is not denying your exhaustion. It is understanding its source and reclaiming your will to live with purpose, even in the face of unimaginable suffering. Think for a moment about how radical Frankl's truth is in our culture today. We live in a society that glamorizes burnout. Rise and grind, they say, as if hustling yourself into the ground is a badge of honor. endless work, sleepless nights, grinding until you collapse. These are celebrated as signs of dedication when they are, in truth, symptoms of profound imbalance. Frankl, who witnessed the collapse of humanity firsthand, understood better than any motivational poster could explain. Resilience is not about bulldozing through your limits. It is about finding meaning amidst pain. It is about creating a sacred pause between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. It is about choosing to keep your spirit alive even when everything else is being stripped away. This idea of finding inner strength instead of endlessly pushing outward is reflected in countless stories of heroes we admire. Consider Itachi Uchiha from Naruto, a character who bore unbearable burdens not because he was heartless, but because he chose meaning over easy survival. True endurance is not hollow perseverance. It is meaning-fueled resilience. The world will keep selling you the idea that you're only as valuable as what you produce. But the deepest truth, the one Viktor Frankl and the ancient warriors understood, is that your worth is inherent. It is not measured by how much you can endure without rest, but by your ability to stay rooted in who you are when everything else tries to pull you apart. Section. There's an ancient wisdom the modern world has almost forgotten, a wisdom the Stoics lived by, that indigenous cultures honored, that the old samurai trained into their very being. Rest is not surrender, it's strategy. Stillness is not laziness, it's preparation. Turning inward isn't an act of weakness, it's the most courageous engagement with life itself. When you are trapped in a system built to exploit your energy, the most radical act you can commit is to protect it fiercely. Viktor Frankl didn't survive the horrors of the Holocaust by simply pushing harder. He survived by connecting to a power within himself that no external force could destroy. He understood what most today overlook. Resilience is not forged through reckless endurance, but through mindful restoration. True strength comes from knowing not just when to fight, but when to step back and heal. Most people carry a warped vision of discipline, shaped by a culture that glorifies burnout. They believe discipline means grinding until your body and mind collapse under the weight. They think heroism lies in ignoring pain, in pushing through no matter the cost. But true discipline is not self-destruction. It's wisdom. It's understanding that you are a living system, not a machine. Even Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the epitome of relentless training, understood that moments of healing, like training inside the hyperbolic time chamber, were what allowed him to return stronger each time. If you treat your exhaustion as a personal flaw, you aren't just sabotaging today. You're setting fire to your future. Your mind, your sharpest weapon, burns out silently when ignored. Healing is not the absence of discipline. It is discipline itself, applied with intention. The path back to your true strength begins with a simple, radical step. Silence. 10 minutes. No screens, no to-do lists, no pretending. Just you, your breath, and the chaos within you. Don't run from it. Don't judge it. Just sit with it. Because awareness is the first and most profound act of respect you can offer yourself. In Neon Genesis Evangelion, Shinji's battles weren't just against the outside world. They were inside his own heart. You cannot conquer the outer wars if you remain blind to the wars within. Step 2. Move gently. Choose one task. Not 5, not 10. Focus all your energy into completing just one thing. The mind rebuilds its strength not through grand victories, but through small, steady wins. Each small success reinforces belief. Belief rekindles energy, and energy slowly, patiently rebuilds identity. Finally, step 3. Sleep like a warrior preparing for battle. Rest is not a luxury, it's ammunition. Every moment of real rest you give yourself becomes a silent but powerful investment into your future strength. When Tanjiro from Demon Slayer collapses after a brutal fight, his teachers don't shame him. They force him to heal, to sleep, because without restoration, even the strongest swordsman falls. Your strength tomorrow depends on how you care for yourself today. Rest is not the opposite of work. It is the source of all meaningful, sustained work. Protect it. Honor it. Build a foundation so strong that when the storms of life come, and they will, you stand unshaken, fueled not by empty hustle, but by a spirit that knows when to fight and when to heal. Section 4. Step 4. Forgive yourself. No phones, no last desperate scroll through social media. Just darkness, just recovery. Sleep as if your future depends on it, because it does. The world conditions us to see exhaustion as failure, but healing is an act of rebellion in a system that profits from your burnout. Forgive yourself for breaking down. Forgive yourself for needing a reset. Forgive yourself for not being able to keep sprinting on broken legs. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. True warriors don't become unbreakable by pretending they're invincible. They become unbreakable by learning how to break safely, how to pause, how to rebuild stronger from the ashes. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to become resilient beyond reason. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is lay down the heavy armor and allow yourself to heal. This is the part no one celebrates. The silent nights spent fighting invisible battles. The lonely hours where you choose healing over hustling. The quiet rebuilding that happens away from applause. But don't be fooled. This is where real strength is forged. Not in the spotlight, not under the bright lights of achievement, but in the dark, lonely moments when you decide to believe in yourself again. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You've simply been carrying too much for too long, and now it's time to put some of it down. Pick your power back up, one deep breath, one small step, one quiet act of courage at a time. Your mind isn't broken. It's tired. And when you finally give it what it needs, you'll witness a rebirth from within so powerful that even the future you can't yet imagine will stand in awe. This is the sacred work, the unseen recalibration that happens when the world isn't watching. Society glorifies the finish line, the grand announcement, the polished success story. But few recognize the 1,000 invisible choices it took to get there. The mornings you forced yourself to rise even when hope felt distant. The days you fought back against the crushing voice of self-doubt. The nights you chose rest over reckless pushing. These are the real victories, not the public milestones, but the private acts of devotion to your future self. True strength isn't about carrying everything forever. It's about having the courage to discern what to set down, and the wisdom to actually do it. The gentle patience you show to your wounded parts. The fierce protection you offer your spirit as it recovers. That is what sets you apart. That is where legends are born. Not in noise, but in the sacred silence of self-respect. Your exhaustion is not a moral failure. It's valuable feedback. It's your body, your mind, your soul communicating in the only language they know, pleading for restoration. The world may demand endless output, may shame you for pausing, may seduce you into believing you're only as good as your productivity. But your humanity was never designed to exist in constant motion. It requires seasons of effort and seasons of renewal. Listen to that. Honor that. You're not broken. You're not inadequate. You've simply been asked to carry too much for too long. Now it's time. Put it down. Pick your real power back up. One deep breath. One steady step. One brave choice to trust in your own slow, sacred rebuilding. Give yourself the healing you deserve, and watch what you become.